Welcome back, my fellow aggressive learners. In this session, we shall be talking about typography in CSS. And by typography, we are referring to fonts, which include font family, font size, the system fonts, and of course, most of the Google fonts. All right. And then your font weight, font style, and the entire testing families where you have the letter spacing, word spacing, text transform, text decoration, text align, and so many of them. We are only picking a few just to introduce you to it, and we believe that as you begin to progress in your CSS career, in your front end career, you'll be able to meet a whole lot of these guys. And of course, when you see them, you should well understand that they belong to the typography in CSS. All right. So quickly, without wasting time, the very first episode we're going to consider what the font family. All right, and then the font size. Without wasting time, let's define some few HTML. All right, and then dive really into it. So how do we do that? Let me just quickly do a heading and call it typography. Typography. I don't like to miss. Good. So, and I am going to do the first heading p tag, and I'm going to do lorem ipsum. I just want 75 of it, and then here I go, and then I have done this. So I can actually multiply this as many as I want. I can do h2 and then h2. I say intro to typography. Right, good. So typography, right, good. So and then I do p and then lorem and then I do 20 and then I do enter. So when I do enter, I am right in here, and then I have given basically what I want you to know. So now let's get started. Let's get back to the HTML CSS class. But before we do that, let's quickly give these things classes. All right. Let's call this class. Let's just call it 1. All right. Or content. I don't know what to call it, but let's just give it a name. All right. Class. Content. All right, so I can actually come here and do class heading. So and then I'm going to omit this just for us to have something to play around with. So heading, content, just these two things. Let's go ahead and see how we can generate font size with it. So let's go ahead. Now what do we have? I will start with font family. Now I can go ahead and click on the body. All right, remember we have the body, so inside this body I can say the body is the parent tag to all these things. I can start with it and go ahead and define a font family for the body. I am coming. I can define a font family. So in that font family, I want to say I want to use what we call Korea new. Now I'm not calling all of them, for instance. I want to make use of what? Korea. Watch the way it has changed my font. All right. It doesn't matter whatever is in here. It doesn't matter whatever is inside the body. All of them get affected by what? By this. Remember the principle of inheritance. We discussed that in the previous videos. You can see all of them get affected because they are all children belonging to what? To the body. So this is what we mean. Now, of course, I can also go ahead and choose a different font. I can say I'm going to clean this Vedna Tahoma. So what this simply means is, in case Vedna does not exist, you can see the font has changed. If this does not exist, Geneva should take over. If Geneva does not exist, Tahoma should take over. If Tahoma does not exist, this should take over. So it means that the font, there are some fonts being defined. All right, there are sometimes the system might not have some of these fonts. So let me clean the first two. Let's see what happened. You can see the font size have really changed. All right, just because there is Tahoma. So in a situation where there is no Tahoma, of course, sans serif will take precedence. So that is how it is. All right, that is how it is. So you can choose to define any of the font family you find. So, and thank God for VS Code. VS Code made life so easy. You can actually do exactly or whatever it is that you want. All right, it could actually help you define a whole lot of things. So whatever you want, you can actually define it, and that is what font family does. All right, your system has it, and that's just what I want. Of course, we are coming to system fonts, and I will also explain what that means to you. So, but in that case, I hope you really understood what font family does means. And of course, I can go ahead and do fonts. I can go ahead and do font size. All right, I can go ahead and do font size. Your font size is the size of your font. So I can define it to be what? 45 or 50 pixel. Now, the value of your font size does not necessarily have to be in pixel. You can change the value of your font to be a different value. You can use, save this. So this is too much. So we can use 10, right? So you can even go ahead and use 15. Let's say it does not necessarily have to be pixel. Remember, I taught you EM, I taught you M. So you can go ahead and use any of them. So I want to use 3M. That means 3 times 30, 3 times 16, the default browser size. 2 times 16, 32 pixels. That is what this is really doing. So 1 times this is what 16 pixel, if you remember vividly. And if I say 1 rem, all right, it's using the root browser. So whatever that is the root there, I don't intend to start going through this. Rather, you should go to the video and find out what it is. Right? Good. So you can see what we mean by what? By font size. All right. So, but I'm gonna use 18 pixel, and that is what I chose to use. So that is what we refer to as what? Font size and font family. All right. Hopefully you get the gist. And you can make this in case you don't want to define it directly on the body. So we can choose one of these elements precisely. Let me say the contents. All right, so that means I'm going to affect anywhere I find content is going to be affected. In fact, let me use H2, just H2. So let me change. I want to say I don't want H2 to take on this font family. I want H2 to have its own specific font family. So I am going to do font family. Oh, sorry, please. Font family, and in this font family I want to use Sergio UI. That is what I want. I don't care if heaven is going to fall. That is what I want. So in case there is no Sergio UI, I want sans serif to take over. So you can see my H2 has actually changed. So you can go very specific, very specific. And I hope in this lecture you have well understood what font family will do for you in typography or CSS typography, and you have understood what font size will do for you. And of course, you have understood that you can actually take control and not define all the body or all the content of your CSS to be what? To be of the same font family. You can choose a specific what? A specific content and give it a specific what? Type font family or font size, depending on your choice. All right, everything is practically your own personal choice. No one is going to force you. You know your design, you know what you want to achieve, you know what is in your head. Only you knows what you're doing. All you are doing is that by adding extra of this, you're saying if this does not exist, in case the system does not have this, let this take over. That is all you are saying. So I am saying go to my content. If there's no this, do this, and that's it. Thank you for listening and see you in the next class. Thank you.